Today's review is sponsored by BigBadToyStore.com. Where does RedX get his incredible toys? At BigBadToyStore.com. Where else can you buy top-of-the-line quality products at an affordable price? Head on over to BigBadToyStore.com right now and start your pre-ordering for this and other great products today. And tell them RedX and Nicole sent you.
What's going on, everyone? RedX is back, coming solo with another RedX review of Epic Proportions, and today we're going to be looking back into the SH Figuarts line. That being said, it's Super Sentai once again with Fuwa Juzo, the very first actual official villain created from the Sentai Figuarts side of the SH Figuarts series. That being said, this is also none other than the American counterpart of Deker from Power Ranger Samurai, or Samurai Sentai Shinkenger, whichever one you want to call him, but preferably said to me, being an American Power Ranger fanatic, I will call him Deker from the rest of this review. But that being said, let's get to it, shall we? This has been a long time coming, but I've been quite busy, and unfortunately I can't go into details just yet. Anyhow, for those who know specifically, coming from the American side of Super Sentai or Power Rangers, whichever one you want to call them, Deker was roleplayed by none other than Ricardo Medina Jr. And I do apologize if he's not being called Jr. anymore today. I mean, the guy's got to be like in, what, his late 30s, something like that? Anyhow, he plays another specific role in Power Rangers, not just as Deker, but as the Red Wild Force Ranger from Power Rangers Wild Force. Yes, one of my all-time favorite Red Rangers of the Power Rangers series. And quite frankly speaking, Power Rangers Wild Force is the actual series that got me back into the Power Rangers franchise. So that being said, this was a long review finally coming in, and let's get to it. I've had this figure for a while, but like I said, I haven't had any time to review him, and everything that I did want to review at first just had to come. So here's the figure, here's his package. I can't really say much about the package. It's a very nice color. That's one thing I can say about it. Black works really nice with the figure. It's just that cool looking. I can't read Japanese, so if anybody would like to translate any of this or any of this down below, feel free and let us know. And yeah, that's really it. I can show you a quick size comparisons between the packages. Here he is with Gosei Knight, or Robo Knight from Power Rangers Mega Force. About the same size, same height, and that's pretty much it. So, I'll take a moment, get him out of his package, and we'll get right to this review, so stay tuned. Okay, folks, and here we have Deker out of his package, and might I say, this figure art is incredible. From first look, this figure looks very phenomenal. I gotta say, the detail on him just really pops out with all the black wash that's on him. Kind of speaking, I'm pretty sure this is what inspired Bandai America to actually black wash their Deker figure. Even though it's not as detailed as an SH Figuarts, I gotta say this one is still pretty good, but this one's the better deal. But then again, this one actually does have an advantage. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The shoulder bits up here, I don't like them. I really don't. Even though I can understand why they are the way they are and why they move so much, because they're on these very weak ball joints that if you're not careful, they might actually be found to break. But who knows? But, you know, that's a figure art. They're loaded with articulation, and by loaded, I mean loaded. Ball jointed head, even sometimes their necks are actually ball jointed, but Deker's not, unfortunately. Ball jointed shoulders, though they are actually hindered by his shoulder bits up here. He's got bicep swivel, which is nice, always a plus. 90-degree elbow bend, wrist is on a ball joint to go any position you want, in and out, up and down, all that. He's got ball joint right here at the waist. He's got, I think he's got a cut up here at the top, but I really can't get it to move, and I'm not really going to force it because figure arts have been known to break, unfortunately. Ball jointed legs, and they are just like the Super Sentai figures, or, you know, dare I say, the Power Rangers. They have that joint right there, which goes up and down at the legs, just to get a little more movement for like high kicks and such. Up and down, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he actually has a little bit of a thigh swivel, but, you know, all this armor here and these, like, I don't know what you would call these, they just block everything. So, it is what it is. About 90-degree bends. Whoa, that's a first. This has never happened before. Pieces will pop off here and there, but like I said, this has never come off before. This is new. So, just be a little more careful there. And last but not least, the feet have ball joints. They go in any position you want. And the toes fold up and down. And that's it for articulation, but that's a lot of articulation. It's great. And I love the transparent color with the red. I mean, it just makes this figure pop. It makes it look as if he actually has some kind of indentation of some light piping. Unfortunately, though, he does not. It would have been cool if he did, but he does not. Still, pretty amazing. My figure suffers through a flaw, unfortunately. If you move the head a little too much, the mask will actually come off. I'm not so sure if this is supposed to happen. I haven't heard from anybody else on Ranger Board saying that this has happened to their figure. But, God, that is creepy. Let me just put this back on so I don't scare the kitties away. And it's a little tricky to get it back on, but once it's on there, it'll stay on pretty good. As long as I don't mess around with it too much. Okay, so overall, I really do like this figure nonetheless, even if he's got some problems here and there with quality control, like the shoulder bits that just really get in the way of everything about this figure. And the fact that his mask comes off, he is really a nice figure. A little loose in some places, but nonetheless, I mean, look at that. Tamashii Nations, they spared to no expense. Look at that. Look at all that design. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know Deker actually had all this in the back. I didn't know that all this dirt was actually on the actual suit in Super Sentai. I mean, look at the American version. Yeah, you can see a major difference. So that's pretty cool. I mean, they didn't have to throw all this detail in and all this paint work, but, I mean, I'm glad they did, especially with how much I paid for this figure. So, for accessories, let's get to accessories. Why not? Just back him up for a second. Accessories. Instruction manual. Not needed, really. It's not needed. He has a sheath right here. Pretty cool. Pretty big. I mean, really, when it's on the figure, it's huge. He's also got a sword for his sheath, which is none other than, Uramasa from Power Rangers Samurai, of course, since I don't know the actual Japanese name. There's a peg right here, and there's a hole up here, which it is a little hard to get it in here at first. This is probably my second time doing this, and you really got to be careful with this, because, you know, I don't want to break the figure or anything like that, and I don't think it's going in there. No. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, my mistake. There's two pegs right here. Two pegs. One there, one there. One's longer than the other one, so it's not broken. That's the way it is. And there's a hole right there and a hole right here. That's why it wasn't going in. Let me take the sheath out, or sword, just in case. Gotta be very gentle and careful. I want to get this on camera, but I don't think I'll be able to. It's not going in. Oh, there goes his face again. Ah, got it. Even though I suffered. Yeah. I suffered. He suffered. He's the one that's getting tortured here with me moving my hand so much on the figure. Knocking off his mask. And that's not really going to stay on anymore, is it? Well, I might super glue that later just for the heck of it. I don't want to, but I might have to. As long as I don't mess with the figure, it ain't going to come off. But, yeah, sword stores in right there. And there you go. That's Deker as a whole, which is pretty cool. For other accessories, he's got that, I don't know what you would call this sword. A very small sword. Well, a pretty good size for Deker. It was used in the show. It was a replacement sword for the time being until Deker could actually get Uramasa fixed after his first battle against the Red Ranger, which he broke his sword, and that explains that. And last but not least, of course, like every other SH figure art out there, that being Super Sentai or Kamen Rider, additional hands for other poses, which is kind of nice. Got some open hands, some closed fists, and that's it. He only comes with 6 hands. And I like to keep the hands where they can actually hold weapons on the figures themselves. So, overall, I mean, that's really it for accessories, and that's really it for much detail on the figure. I've got nothing else to say except this figure is actually well worth it. I know you're going to be paying a pretty nice shiny penny if you want to get a hold of him now, since he's been out for quite a while. I'm not so sure where you can actually get him now besides eBay or Amazon, or if lucky enough, maybe some other third-party store out there, something like that. I'll just show you the detail one last time. And I noticed I did not do a size comparison, so yeah, let's bring him in just for the heck of it, because it's his archenemy, obviously. Shinken Red, or nonetheless Jaden from Power Ranger Samurai, and my camera is too high. There we go. So there you go, guys. I mean, that's it. I've got nothing else to say except that if you can find this figure, buy him. You will not regret it. I mean, it's definitely going to be a lot better than, if you see my review, you already know about this guy. But it's probably just my one, and my one only. So, that's it. Nothing else to say. So, questions, comments, leave them below. I'll answer when I got time. And until the next review, whatever comes in mind, that's it. I'll see you guys later.